This is the Circle building in Victoria, central London. Circle's CEO is Rupert Soames. Soames is the grandson of Winston Churchill and the brother of a former Tory MP. His wife Camilla is a prominent Conservative Party donor. An email of Soames leaked in June suggested that the coronavirus pandemic could go a long way in cementing the position of private sector companies in the public sector supply chain. He was right. Serco has secured a significant number of government contracts this year, many that didn't go to competitive tender. At least one, worth 410 million, contains no penalty clause. So even if Serco fails to fulfil its terms, it gets paid in full. And Serco has indeed missed targets. Now, according to the government figures, the centralised test and trace system currently reaches less than 70% of contacts. Local authorities are reaching 97%. This despite the fact that they've been denied access to government data and were given just 300 million in contrast with the 22 billion for national test and trace. Centralisation's only advantage lies in the fact that it makes it easier to award lucrative contracts for multinational corporations. Over 1.5 billion worth of such contracts has been awarded to companies linked to the Tories, including Serco. Serco this year forecasts an increased trading profit of 30%, 2020 compared to 2019. Not many companies have done that this year. Who did the government put in charge of the test and trace programme? Dido Harding. She was in charge of the Jockey Club as the Cheltenham Festival went ahead in March and became a super spreader event. So thanks for that one, Dido. The racing connection might have been one aspect of her checkered career that could have commended her to the Health Secretary, Matt Hancock. Hancock is the MP for Newmarket, where the Jockey Club has a major presence. He's drawn a large proportion of his political funding from the horse racing industry. An investigation by the Daily Mirror estimates that he's received nearly 350 grand in donations from wealthy people in the racing business. Before the last election, he announced, "I'll always support the wonderful sport of horse racing, and they will always support him as long as he pushes their agenda." Now, Harding's been given an even bigger role as head of the National Institute for Health Protection to run alongside her test and trace responsibilities. You may think all this justifies a complaint to the government's anti-corruption champion, a guy called John Penrose. Don't bother. He's married to Dido Harding. Penrose and Harding met when they worked for the consultants McKinsey. McKinsey were the consultants that got the 563 grand contract for advising on the vision, purpose and narrative of the National Institute for Health Protection, the new body run by Harding. The work was neither advertised nor subject to competitive tender. What a shock. Join us at our workshop starting on 30th January to discuss all this and what we can do about it.